What's up, guys? Welcome back. My name is Dylan, and this is my Heroes Charge helping channel. Basically today we're gonna have a pretty long video, so go ahead and buckle down. I'm just gonna show you my account overview, what's helped me kind of get through to the level that I am without any trouble. Um, Originally I had Lightning Elemental as my tank. I think I got him at a gold chest at around level 6, and he carried me all the way up until level like 45, which is pretty good. And then he started to suffer as more and more people got damage dealing, I guess, heroes, and he was getting absolutely slaughtered. And I needed to upgrade my tank. Conveniently enough, I got Iron Hoof out of a gold chest, level 3 star. So that really helped because I still use him today. He's a very good tank. Um, let's see, I'll go through from the bottom up. He's pretty good if he's paired with another tank. I wouldn't use him just because I'd have to use two tanks and it's just kind of unneeded, unnecessary. But if you're forced to use him, it's a decent tank. He's pretty good. He does decent damage, but I would rather use him because of his special, which is a shield, shielding the whole team. Divine power to protect his allies from physical harm. That's very helpful whenever people are going off on your team. Warrior Monk, very squishy, would never use him, just flat out never use him. Forest Guardian, I don't know if he's a tank or not, but I wouldn't use him. Last time I fought him, he got killed pretty easily, so no. Vanguard Warrior, he's a good tank, he does pretty decent damage. The only thing that I don't like about him is he comes to the battle about 2 to 3 seconds late. Really? He comes to the battle about 2 to 3 seconds late, which is just not cool, because by that time the second and third people in line are already getting completely pummeled and just destroyed. So he would only really be paired with another tank to make him good, which is once again kind of unnecessary. Cross Knight, people say he's a tank, but I think he's just more. I guess he is a tank. I don't know. He's not very good. He's really squishy unless he uses his shield. Hey, I can evolve this guy. Yeah, why not? Anyway, he's really not that good. Next, Psychopath. He does decent damage, but he's just once again pretty squishy, and I don't like squishy tanks unless they have something to boost them back up or something to make them worthwhile. Admiral. She becomes one of the absolute best characters in the game, in my opinion. I versed one level 63 4-star, which was just ridiculous. I don't know how you get that many soul stones for Admiral, unless you just really try for it. But she becomes really good, and I've looked it up, and she becomes even better around level 80/90, which is kind of ridiculous that the person you start out with becomes one of the best people in the game. Lightning Elemental, we've gone over him. Dwarf Warrior. If I was to restart, I would recommend using him every single battle. I would use him all the time. I would get him to 5 stars and just continue on pursuing him because of his special. He can completely wipe out my tank, which has about 19,000 HP, which is unbelievable. He hits about, I think, 10,000s on me, which is ridiculous. So if I was to restart, or if you guys are planning on restarting, I would definitely go with him. That's a special right there. Just goes off. War Chief, very good. Becomes one of the best tanks in the game, in my opinion. I would, well, I'm trying to get him up to probably around 4 stars, 5 stars over time. I'm close to 3 stars, and I want to use him on my second team. Basically just because he can resurrect himself and he does pretty decent damage, although he is semi-squishy. But as I said before, I would only really use a squishy tank if they have something going for him, which he does. He has 2 lives, so imagine his life as he's dying. He dies, 3 seconds later he literally rises from his grave and comes back to fight another battle, which is pretty cool. Lastly, we have Death Knight and Iron Hoof. Death Knight, he's kind of squishy, but his special is really good because it brings back HP. He absorbs damage, and any damage taken is instantly converted into HP. So he's really good for Crusades. I'd only recommend using him for Crusades or maybe even Campaign, just because he doesn't really get a special off fast enough. So Death Knight paired with Chaplain or Champlain, whatever you guys call it, Chaplain, really really helps during Crusades and can help you just breeze through the hard Crusades, which I do. Ironhoof, the tank that I use all the time. He absorbs the most damage that I've seen out of any tank ever, and he has a pretty decent special that knocks back everybody. So if you're getting too crowded on your side and they're doing a lot of damage to multiple people in a close, tight knit area, you can hit back their team, dealing damage and freeing up the space, I guess you'd say, in your area. He has a kind of a little cool mini special thing. Whenever he joins the battle, he can throw up a shield that basically, let's see, I'll show you here. Whatever, just go to this one. Basically, all he does is throw up a shield and it absorbs all damage for about 5 seconds. Right there is a shield and nobody can attack him. I guess it heals him too. So, yeah, he's pretty worth it in my opinion. As for my first team, I'll go ahead and set them up here. I use Ironhoof for my tank, Phoenix, because unbelievable damage to the entire team once they get their special off, and it can revive itself once it's died if it lasts more than 5 seconds, I think, undamaged. So if it uses its special, dies, and then isn't hurt for 5 seconds, it can bring itself back about 3 times, I think it is. Ninja, insane DPS. Once he gets a special off, it takes a while to get a special bar up, but once he gets a special off, he can just go off on the other team. He hits, I think, 6,000s just repeatedly, like over and over and over again. So he's pretty, like, really, really good. He's just really squishy, so hopefully he doesn't die before he gets his special. Frost Mage, working on getting her to 4-star right now. I think I'm a couple soulstones away, so I should have her by the next video, I hope. And Cloudwalker, he takes a while to get his special, or he takes a while to get his special, but once he gets it, if they have 1 or 2 tanks, he absolutely destroys them to the point where it kills their front line. So you can just walk through the front line after he gets his special off. I like him also because he multiplies in a battle, and he absorbs damage with his clones, I guess they are. One goes behind their lines, and the other 2 pop up right next to him. See, one's behind their lines there, and he multiplied again, and there's 2 absorbing damage right there. So you basically have more tanks, or I guess it takes the damage off of your tanks while you're fighting. This is the special for the Phoenix. It does quite a bit of damage repeatedly to each player on their team. I'll go ahead and show you, I guess I can't show you Ninja Special yet. There's the Ninja Special. He goes all the way to the back lines, hitting 6,000 to 7,000s repeatedly, just over and over and over again. Ooh, that was fast. Anyways, let's get back to the overview. Anyway, these are the heroes that I use most frequently. For my second team, my tank will be War Chief, because he can come back from the dead, as I said before. I'm starting to use War Chief paired with Death Knight, just because 2 tanks is seeming to work for those 2. War Chief will take most of the damage, and he might even die, but by the time that happens, Death Knight has his HP healing special, and War Chief will come back to replace himself. So you have 2 tanks for most of the battle. I'll use Mystic, because of his special. It does a ton of damage to people, to each player on their team, which is good because it's a multiple target special, I guess you could say. It just takes like 10 years for him to actually use it. He has to sit there and charge up his special for a good while. So War Chief, Mystic, and Death Knight. It's either between Old Curse and Vengeance Spirit, because they can both freeze the enemy, and it gives you a couple second window of just pure damage from your side. I would use one of them, preferably Old Curse, because he seems to do more damage. And I think lastly I would use Chaplain, just because he can heal the team and it's just kind of good. Either Chaplain, Arcane, Sapper, because he goes behind enemy lines and does a great deal of damage, or Commando, just because she boosts the team's stats. Agility by 114 at my level, and magic damage as well as physical attack damage, which is pretty helpful because it just boosts your team's stats basically. So I'll go ahead and show you first team setup right there. Power 21927 at level 64. They're not all leveled up all the way, and they're not enchanted all the way. So I could probably have about 22,000 power just between them. Second team, Old Curse, Death Knight. These people aren't leveled up all the way at all, so I'd have a lot more. What is this? Warrior Chief or whatever, I don't even know. War Chief, Mystic, and either Arcane Sapper or Commando. So this is my second team here, one of those two, and they really, really help, especially in the Grand Arena. They're a pretty decent team to have. I'm working on getting 3 stars for War Chief and Arcane Sapper right now, so they're going to be a pretty well-rounded team, and it helps that most of them are magic damage, so I don't know, it's just a uniform team. Alright guys, that's all. If you have any questions or need any help, go ahead and comment below. I'd love to help anybody out and see that people are watching this. Other than that, I think next video coming up is tomorrow's Outland Portal. I already beat this one today for the first time, and it was pretty easy, so hopefully I can go ahead and help you guys out with the upcoming Outland Portals, which is Northern Dragon. Please select Flying Heroes. Rage Blood, heroes with healing abilities, and Burning Phoenix. You need repeated damage. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and bring those, and that's something to look forward to, I guess. Alright guys, thanks for watching.